Next, Kentucky, which man, I feel so bad for Kentucky, man, because I like
Man, what?
Mark Stoops. I like Mark Stoops. I do, and I want him to stay in Kentucky for as long as he can. But I don't know if Kentucky fans going to accept 4-8, 1-7, which is what they were coming off of last year. They returned 7 starters, 3 on offense, 4 on defense. They returned tight end Josh Keatis, who had 6 catches, 77 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jordan Levitt, a safety who had 63 total tackles, 36 solos, pass breakup, and 2 interceptions. Alex Afari, a safety who had 62 total tackles, 35 solos, and a sack and a half, and a pass breakup. And Ty Bryant, a safety who had 46 total tackles, 30 solos, and interception, 2 forced fumbles. Now, they lost a lot. Oh, excuse me. They returned a cornerback, John Chris Hardaway, 47 total tackles, 33 solos, 3 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, 4 fumbles. Some of what they lost, I was cool with. Like Brock Vandegrift, like he had a solid season, but you're fine. Um, he went 125 of 218, 57.3 completion percentage, 1,593 yards, 10 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. I believe he got hurt. Um, the big losses to me, they lost Dane Key, a receiver who's currently transferred to Nebraska, 47 catches, 715 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And another big loss is Barrion Brown, a receiver who went to LSU, transferred to LSU, 29 catches, 361 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's the biggest thing about it. They lost 2 receivers who transferred to
True.
different schools, not to the NFL.
They top
Another,
two.
yep, another big loss is Maxwell Harrison, who get well soon, got injured, but he was drafted in the first round to the Bills. 19 total tackles, 15 solos, a sack, 4 pass breakers, an interception, touchdown, and 2 forced fumbles. Which, by the way, I called the Bills drafted him in that spot. Jamin Johnson, a linebacker with 67 total tackles, 39 solos, 3.5 sacks, an interception, forced fumble, 3 fumble recoveries, and a scoop and score. Currently on the Packers. Zion Childress, currently on the Cowboys. Heard his name a lot earlier in the Cowboys panel. 55 total tackles, 34 solos, a sack, 2 pass breakups, and 4 forced fumbles. Dion Walker, the big fella, D tackle, 37 total tackles, 13 solos, a sack and a half, 2 pass breakers, and a fumble recovery on the Bills. And JJ Weaver, edge rusher, currently on the Panthers, 32 total tackles, 17 solos, 5 sacks, pass breakup, forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. They're the 25th overall recruiting class, 10th in transfers. Talk to me about Kentucky.
Well, they beat Ole Miss last year. All right, but which is crazy for Ole Miss. But
Yeah.
4-8 record, worst record in 11 years. So like they are spiraling down. I'm not high on them at all this year. Spoiler alert. They try to address the O line in the portal. I don't think that'll make a big difference. They like you said, they lost two of they lost their top 2 receivers basically in the
Mm-hmm.
portal. That's always a bad sign right there. You know what I mean? Like you lose your top 2 receivers in the portal, that's not a good thing. And then their quarterback Zach, like he came from the FCS. Now he was with Texas A&M in the SEC 2 years ago, but you know what I mean, competition is different in the FCS. You know what I mean, than the FCS and the SEC. Like it's totally different. And I mean, spoiler alert, man, I got them being really pretty bad.
I ain't gonna spoil what I got, but what I would say is this: your sentiments about Zach Calzada are mine exactly, and I don't want to hear, "Oh, Cam Ward went to Internet Word, and then he went to Washington State, and he went to Miami. He's number one." I don't care. No, bruh. Zach Calzada is not that good in my opinion. And Kentucky, like I said, recruits a type of quarterback I just don't like. Well, these weren't recruits. These were no, these were recruits. Devin Leary wasn't. He was a transfer. But from Will Levis to Devin Leary to Gavin Wimsey, these are all guys I was never high on. But Mark Stoops, for whatever reason, chose these guys. But you know what they had? They had running backs. Will Levis had Chris Rodriguez, like that, average 6 yards a carry. Could not. He would always fall forward. Can't bring him down. And Devin Leary, he had Ray Davis. So when he had his good year, it was attributed to Ray Davis. There's no running back, in my opinion, of those calibers. You'll say,
Yeah,
yeah, they brought in Dante Dowdle from Nebraska. He's not Ray Davis or Chris Rodriguez. He's solid, but those were really good backs. So Kentucky, Mark Stoops, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Shout out to Drew the Longhorn, though. We ain't get to Texas yet. Texas is a little way down the road. But your profile picture is funny. Um, but and then another transfer they got is Cam Oates, who came from Kent State, had 6 sacks. I'm just interested to see what Kentucky's going to do. I'm interested to see the identity of Kentucky. Are they going to run the ball? Are they going to be balanced? Are they going to be pass heavy? I'm interested to see Zach Calzada, man. I don't think he's going to do well in the SEC, which is why he got up out the SEC. But hey, we'll see.
That was a bar.
We'll see. 114th in total offense, 44th in total defense, 112th in passing, 81st in rushing, 119th in scoring offense, 21st in passing defense, 86 in rushing defense, 33rd in scoring defense. If you're ready, we can get into the schedule.
Let's get it.
So first game of the season is against Toledo. I have as a win.
Carl, I was so close on picking this as an L, but I picked W though.
I kind of don't blame you. The only thing with me at Toledo is I don't know. How do I say this? I don't know how well they'll do against the SEC defense. Like you could say it's Kentucky all you want, it's still an SEC defense.
Yeah, and they are home first game of the season.
Yeah. Now they play Ole Miss next game of the season, and last year was insane. I blame last year them losing against Ole Miss to me having a parlay, and I think that was like my one leg that lost. They're not losing to Ole Miss this year.
No, blowout. Hell.
Next game, it's just Jackson Dart just didn't look like himself. He kept throwing picks in the red zone, not capitalizing drives. And I think Kentucky got like some crazy play before the half to like give more points. It was one of those games where you can't complain. Yeah. Next game in Eastern Michigan, it's a win.
Same.
Next game at South Carolina, that was a loss.
Loss.
At Georgia, loss.
Loss.
At home against Texas, loss.
Hell.
Tennessee, loss.
Hell.
At Auburn, loss.
Hell.
At home against Florida, loss.
Hell.
Win against Tennessee Tech.
Same.
Then lost at Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
And then lost in a huge rivalry game at Louisville.
Same.
Kentucky,
so we got
3-9, 0-8 in conference.
Same. 3-9, 0-8. Terrible.
Yeah, that's the under 4.5 win total.
Yeah. So you Coach getting fired?
Nah, I don't think they fired Mark Stoops.
Okay.
I think Kentucky actually really likes Mark Stoops, but maybe some of the talk changes. He has something in his contract to like if he wins like I think 7 to 8 games, he gets like a bonus every year, and it goes up the more wins he get in the season.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, because Kentucky's not a football school; they're a basketball school.
Yeah.
So if he can have a competent football team or like a really good product to put on the field, they like reward him for it. So
yeah,
I do love that.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.